Hello and welcome to possibly one of the greatest finals of the 21st century. We're about to see the Lionesses take on Spain tomorrow. We've seen Avengers Endgame, and we've seen, unfortunately, the Rise of Skywalker. But are we all ready for the final of Season 1 of the Best Butties podcast? I'm joined by Rob.
It's the final.
Brandon.
It's still the final.
And Jack.
Come on, lads, let's wrap this up so we can just never do it again.
Oh, God.
Right, real quick, we've got to get this in there. This is the 18th episode, right? I've never seen such a fucking shambles of doing the countdown before we hit record. My God.
Yeah, Ryan decided to do... Bear in mind, we've recorded 17... Hold on, I'm talking. Let me cook. Let me cook. For 17 episodes, we've done it the same way every time, and then Ryan comes on, he's like, right, okay, well, let's get juicy with this one. I'm going to count down from 17, and I'm going to whisper the first 7 numbers.
Can we have a little peek behind the curtain? So we had a little mix-up today in the little Best Butties podcast WhatsApp group that, we were going to record at midday. We didn't, so I reorganised my whole day to go out for a little few bevies with some friends. Guess what? Bevied up. Maybe I forgot how to fucking do the countdown.
I forgot how to count to 3.
We still made it, so let's fucking get on with the show. We're all professionals, boys. We're all professionals.
God. Well, this is the final, though. And you say it's the last... You say, Jack, you don't want to do this again. Mate, we're doing it again. You aren't free from this.
Yes, no, we can just sub-Jack it. That's fine.
I don't know, Ed, are you free?
Yeah, come on, Ed. Come on now.
little swappy swoop.
Oh, dear. You boys all okay? How you doing?
Yes.
Aforementioned few beers in, so we're all good.
Only after the beers you're good.
Yeah, he's going now. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, you said I was only fucking sprightly and little glint in my eye after a few beers, so there you go. That's a nice...
It's going to escalate to Larry very quickly during this podcast.
Fucking might do.
I hope so.
You are looking particularly breedable today, Ryan. So.
Jesus Christ! My family listens to this, Robert.
Yeah.
Even to the bit when we said about their OnlyFans, maybe in the last episode, because...
fucking hell, this has gone to shit already.
Oh, dearie me.
I'm uncomfortable. Let me just go with the brackets. I'm going to introduce the brackets. Fuck you lot.
Oh, Rob's outraged by this as well.
Should we say, with this podcast, I think in every other podcast, we kind of say what it is, right? We take the best stuff. We all argue about it, about a topic, and then we come up with the best of the thing, right? This is the final.
In all fairness, if you're debut to this podcast, if so, first of all, thank you for tuning in. But second, if you're coming into the final, which will probably titled something like Final Bracket of Final Season, Final, that's on you, man. Figure it out. Come on now.
It's like skipping to the end of a book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen to the first episode, listen to the last one, and then see how much we've improved.
That was my idea for a podcast. Was we watched the first and last episodes of a anime, and then we just sort of fill in the blanks on air. That was what I wanted to do.
Maybe we could do that as a segment in next season. And if you agree with that, you should email us. I think I totally forgot the email. It just went out of my head.
Oh, we've not recorded for 2 weeks, and the professionals got the fucking with
Where are my notes?
bestbuttieспod@gmail.com, and you can let us know. What did you like? What didn't you like maybe about season 1? Maybe Jack's idea of watching anime episode 1, episode X is a good idea.
It's not a good idea. It's just the only other idea I had besides us arguing over stuff.
I think it's an awful idea. Maybe you want to get in touch because you agree that Ryan looks particularly breedable this episode, and you could message us on Twitter or Instagram at bestbuttiespod.
I'll just send through the most sort of deviant shit about Ryan that you can. Go and make a post on AO3 about Ryan, and we'll read the best one out.
Erin, do it.
Please, can we start the Ryan fanfics?
Can we just call you Mr. Breedable from now on? Is that okay?
Fuck you. Excuse me. I didn't get a PhD for nothing. That's Dr. Breedable.
Dr. Breedable.
Didn't you? I feel like I did.
Give him some respect.
It was a long, hard 4 years of my life. But
I bet it was.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go with the brackets.
Hey, what's that bracket, Ryan?
Jesus Christ. So, the first bracket is Princess Tiana versus Pokemon Go.
Oh dear. The issue with this one is your shite excuse you would call an argument for bringing up Princess Tiana, because she's a great princess, but you did her dirty, mate. That was awful. And you can listen back to the episode to see what I mean, but it's a shame, you know?
I have such a vendetta against that episode as a whole. It was just an absolute shambles.
Don't bring
nothing
into
was
the
sacred.
because
I should have
analysis to this. Oh, here we go. Let's take out the choice from the meta bullshit. That we're trying to engage
We bring
in
the
right
Alien
now.
Queen in as a surprise third option. That's what we do.
No, we don't.
That's actually no. She's the guest judge tonight in the event of a tie break. So.
I brought Princess Tiana to the table. Who brought Pokemon Go to the table?
Oh.
Hey-oh. Do you want to give us a rundown, Brandon?
Well,
What do
I
you
think you should start because you didn't really make any effort when you brought Tiana originally, so why don't you have a go now?
Why would I increase my effort?
See, this is my point. That was already more of an argument that you made with Princess fucking Tiana originally, right? Pokemon Go, fucking global sensation. Everyone here has played it. Everyone's been into it. It's probably better now than it was when we originally did it. It gets people outside exercising, socialising. It's free. Well, you know, you don't have to spend money on it. You can.
If you want to be able to defend a gym or do anything particularly significant in it, you do need to.
Sounds like a user error from my point of view, but here we are. It's perfectly playable and enjoyable without spending money. Or spend a little bit. It's up to you. But yeah, like, it was a fucking phenomenon. The world went mad for it, right? I can't even remember what the name of the film is that your princess is from.
Princess and the Frog. It's in the fucking name.
Brilliant. Oh, sorry, Princess Frog. I don't care. I've not even watched the movie, and I'm not going to. So, your move.
You should watch that film. It's a good film.
It's a good film.
Apparently it's good. No,
This is a good film.
Ryan
You know,
wouldn't
Pokemon.
He's never watched it.
It is true, but I've read the synopsis on Wikipedia.
Bet you played Pokemon Go, though, haven't you?
I play Pokemon Go, you know, the whitewashed colonial version of Niantic's escapades versus some actual representation in some films.
What? How is it?
It's a tentative argument, and I'm kind of making it, so fuck it, let's go.
No, you're going to have to expand on it.
Yeah. What
I don't think the representation in Pokemon Go is as representative as
right, you can make your character. That's on you.
Yeah, you can play as any character you want. Surely, is there not options for
any race or gender? Yes.
True, but they're not. Yeah, they're just giving you character access options versus. But I tried to make a shit argument. It's
fucking
not
hell.
well.
Where'd you get these beers from, boy? Because I need to drink some of those. Princess Tiana is actually fantastic, and Princess of the Frog is very, very good. She's a very hard-working princess. I've listened to the last episode, and I realise that a lot of the arguments I make with this stuff is all about like numbers of people, which, to be fair, isn't very fair to be like, well, more people play Pokemon Go than they've watched Princess and the Frog, or that probably isn't true because Princess and the Frog is a Disney film, so I'm assuming
way more people would have played. Go.
But anyway, I'm going to try and steer clear of using that as a basis of like deciding, because it's not really fair, right? Like, that doesn't make it the best just because loads of people use it. Or
I'm impressed that it's taken you 18 episodes to realise this.
Slowly but unga brain. However, I've watched Princess and the Frog.
Every episode we're ripping the shit out of you for having terrible arguments, and you finally realised one of the reasons.
It's still valid to a degree, but anyway, out of both of them, personally, what I enjoy more is Pokemon Go. I think it brings more people.
What's more important culturally, though, in terms of not just what was the biggest impact of not impact, but like more people know about Pokemon Go, but can you weigh up that value versus how important that was into bringing black representation into a Disney film versus Pokemon Go, which was, yes, a great thing and a great thing to a lot of people, but I think Princess and the Frog was better for the people that needed to see that film, or those people that needed to feel inspired by that film, that's the better good versus the generality of Pokemon Go.
So what about the people then for Pokemon Go that wouldn't actually get their ass out of bed or do anything, but they're like, actually, I'm going to get outside and do something? And I bet you there was a lot of people, Ryan, because I remember when we were in Liverpool and they were fucking everywhere and we were talking to people we never even knew. And like,
guess
we were talking
what?
to loads of
That's a
different
good
people.
retort. That's a great retort. Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
But Brandon should be making these arguments, not you, buddy
I already
boy.
made that argument. Rob's just reiterated. I told you about the physical benefits, the social benefits. Also, I'm going to go there as well. It's a shambles that Ryan made it this far with his argument for Tiana. You cannot let him go further. Absolute shambles. And the rest of the episode I'll get to afterwards. But
I mean, the other fact about voting in me, if you vote Tiana through, it will really piss Brandon off. And that'll be very funny.
yeah, well, yes, but we all know it's just going to be Guts in the final. So it doesn't really matter about pissing me off now, because you can piss me off later.
Look, fair. You know, I'm gonna in the absence of, you know, we don't want this episode to go on forever. I haven't watched the film, but I feel strongly about my corner. I have made my point. Decide. There you go. Done.
She's a fantastic princess. I'm not voting for her because, and not even because I necessarily think that Pokemon Go is better, but partly because you didn't fucking bother to watch the film to pick it.
You made these arguments to say she's great representation in Disney films. You're not even fucking seen it, boy. Like, what?
I haven't. No.
What?
Nope.
And also, the Alien Queen should have won because it's a better princess.
That's how you piss me off. That's how.
I'm going to go with Pokemon Go. I do think it had a bigger general impact. I don't know about global impact because, you know, we live in the UK and we've pretty much just got our experience to go on as 4 white guys.
Yeah, geez, we're really diverse on this podcast.
In terms of representation, like, we can try and do what we can for it, but also we can't speak from any sort of experience from there.
Yeah, and I do want to put that out there. I'm not trying to speak for anybody on anybody's behalf. Absolutely not. I would never dream of doing that.
Right,
So,
yeah,
I'm just trying to make a shitty argument to win against.
Yeah, no, I probably would have gone with Princess Tiana if you'd put the bare minimum of effort in.
Yeah, Pokemon Go, mate. It's Pokemon Go. Definitely.
On a side note, maybe at some point after this, Ryan, should we actually watch that movie? Should we sit down and have a little movie
Let's
night?
do it.
That'd be
Let's
good.
do it.
Yeah.
Let's watch it.
Use that Twitch channel and do a watch along. Well, I think you have to be on like Amazon Prime.
Then get sued
stuff
by
there.
Disney.
No, you can do it officially now, can't you? As long as it's on Amazon Prime, you can watch along. Play the karaoke version or whatever. They always do that with Disney films, don't they? They do like a karaoke version where it's just a film, and then when it gets to the music number, it has the karaoke lyrics come up and like slightly mutes the vocal track on it.
Oh, perfect. That sounds like fun.
And we can sing along, yeah.
We just do it for our Patreon. Yeah, they get that going. We need
That's
some
true.
money.
Oh, if we had more than 1 or 2 listeners, there's so much we could do.
Oh, we could still do it with 1 or 2 listeners. We just charge them 20 grand. Anyway, second round is King Ghidorah versus the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that's a spicy one.
So I think I was King Ghidorah.
I was Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
That's a tough one, man. It's two very good options, in my opinion. And I'm not just saying that because obviously one of them is my option. Because Godzilla's brilliant, King Ghidorah's fantastic, golden 3-headed dragon, it's pretty fucking metal, flies through space, fucking shit up. It's a great choice. I feel like I'll probably end up just going back to what the arguments were that I made when I originally put forward Lord of the Rings, in that it's just, I mean, again, it's such an inspirational piece of work. You know, a lot of the fantasy tropes that we get now and feel repetitive were really because of Lord of the Rings. So many different brilliant pieces of work are moderately as a result of Lord of the Rings, from being inspired from it by taking, homage to it. The films are brilliant. It's one of those where a lot, especially when it first came out, I guess around that sort of era, it's not cool to be into fantasy shit, right? If you were off reading books, you're a nerd. Or if you were into goblins and elves and all that jazz, it's not cool, right? Let's be honest. At the time that Lord of the Rings movies came out, and certainly for the books, right, you're a fucking nerd. Nothing wrong with that, but you're a fucking nerd. But regardless of that, everyone was still into Lord of the Rings. It bridged gaps between those sort of, paradigms. And it's just such a brilliant, it's so quotable, especially those movies, and I don't know, man, I think it's just such a brilliant piece of work as it is, as great epic fantasy, we found out. Low fantasy setting, I believe, technically. And it's just so inspirational, and it probably inspired better works, I'll level with you. But it's just such a brilliant piece of culture, and where Ghidra's brilliant, but I think from a cultural impact scale, realistically, it's Godzilla that was the bigger creature or monster from that series that's more important. Jack's shaking his head because we're not talking about best monster anymore, so don't worry about it. If we're looking at which of those sort of, Toho era, it would have been Godzilla that's really the thing that's pushed the boat out and boundaries and inspired things, as opposed to King Ghidorah. As rad as he is, or her. Is King Ghidorah? King Ghidorah, don't worry about it. Lord of the Rings, vote me, vote now.
You raise a good point, but did you get a species of polychaete worm named after you? No, you didn't. Guess what? 2022, King Ghidorah had a species of branching annelid worm called Ramesselis kingghidorahii.
They added some stuff on there.
Is that real? That's real. It's a real worm, and
you've got it. It's just part of naming things. You've got to really make it sound Greek or Latin or the.
Frankly, give me a moment to see if there is a Lord of the Rings worm. All right,
there will be plenty.
Oh yeah, there'll be plenty. But we've had King Ghidorah around in the kind of Godzilla universe since '64, I think. So
I can beat your word, mate, but you crack on.
Rather than being
that's the wrong podcast, mate. No beating the worms
here. There we go. That's his best joke, and it's in the last episode, guys.
It's good. Very good. Very quick.
We've had the literature fantasy aspect to Lord of the Rings, and I agree it's got a big impact on written fantasy. But I think King Ghidorah as a character and kind of this arch nemesis of Godzilla has been such a facet of the kaiju monster movie, B-movie space, which has persisted for 60, 70 years. So there's a big influence on the B-movies, and now it's not going to be a big influence on the monster movies with the new Monsterverse. It's got a huge influence on cinema, which I don't quite think Lord of the Rings has. I think Lord of the Rings has a great impact on fantasy as a general concept, but I think cinema in terms of Godzilla, King Ghidorah has a bigger influence on much more space within the cinema, within general nerd culture, within
bold claim. That's a bold claim there, right? I don't doubt what you said about it, like Godzilla being a sort of like a key or pivotal, impactful thing for the Monsterverse. But Lord of the Rings, man, for cinema.
Cinema. I don't think for cinema. I think for cinema it was a very stock standard kind of, I know it's early noughties, but it felt very late 80s, 90s kind of action movie. And I'm not saying it wasn't impressive, it was very impressive, but the way it was shot, it was very much kind of a standard action film with extremely good effects. Like,
Absolutely I don't think Godzilla isn't that. I mean, like, no, especially new Godzilla films, because like that's exactly what it is.
Godzilla. I'm talking about old Godzilla films where you brought in Godzilla, you brought in King Ghidorah, and they had this whole background of nuclear war. They're Japan's effort to popularize the devastation that was brought about by that. And I don't think you get that impact from Lord of the Rings in cinema, personally.
Or I think everything that you're putting forward is Godzilla, not King Ghidorah.
Yes, give me 2 more minutes for something else to
And much like King Ghidorah, this podcast currently only has 3 heads because Jack's connection is freaking out.
He's having a bit of an issue at the moment. It's all good.
Going back to your worm, though, because I had a quick Google. So there is apparently a group of butterflies named after Sauron, and I think that's rad as fuck. So
that is cool.
Sauron butterflies? Have they got like the eye on the wings or something?
I assume so. Let me
That's
search.
pretty cool.
Sauron.
No, they're just bright pink.
Yeah.
The exact opposite.
Yeah, so
really
they have. So they're a sort of dark brown affair, but then their lower wings, it has sort of. I'll be honest, they're clutching at straws a little bit, but I can kind of see where they're coming from. The sort of orangey yellow eye, like with dots around. So I can. There's a hint there. There's a little twist.
Yeah, that does sound like they're clutching at something there. Just a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that Ryan's worm doesn't have 3 heads and is bright gold.
It does.
Does it actually?
Ladies and fucking gentlemen.
Does it fly through space and burn planets?
You will be disappointed, but I think it's pretty cool. But then again, I have a low tolerance for what I think is cool.
No, I am weirdly excited.
I'm going to put it. Oh no! I'll try and put it in the actual chat.
Throw it
find it.
That looks terrifying. What is that?
Yeah, bloody hell, that's more than 3 heads as well. That's got loads of heads.
That's what turned people into zombies in Resident Evil. What?
We'll put a picture of this on the Instagram if you guys want to see at Best Butties Pod, so you can see the worm. And our 4th head is rejoined now. He's here. Only from my side, I guess. It's very difficult for me to say that King Ghidorah's the best because I've not watched really any old Godzilla stuff. Isn't there a new film coming out with King Ghidorah who's going to be? I think he's going to be in it, right? Or it is going to be in it. So is that right?
So at if I remember correctly, at the end of the newer Godzilla versus King Kong movie, it was sort of alluded to they'd be bringing back spoilers. So Mechagodzilla was operated by psychic connections using some of King Ghidorah's skulls. And I think they're then looking to imply they were resurrecting King Ghidorah to the making of one of those movies.
And they've also got a Mothra series coming up with Kurt Russell and Kurt Russell's son.
Fuck yes, I love Kurt Russell. Let's fucking go. That I hope is Kurt Russell playing Mothra.
Yeah, they've just stuck some wings to him.
I don't know. Lord of the Rings, man, it is so impactful, and it is incredible. The stuff I've watched of Godzilla is really cool, but the stuff of King Ghidorah that I know of, he flies through time. Is that right? Time and space, and
we've got some generic fantasy bullshit versus a 3-headed gold dragon. I don't see why I'm going to lose this.
But it's not generic fantasy bullshit. Is the problem? It spawned the generic fantasy bullshit.
King Ghidorah is fantastic. If it was King Ghidorah versus Smaug, Ghidorah would win, hands down.
But we're talking about an entire...
Definitely the better dragon. But Lord of the Rings is fantastic. One of my... a very good friend, fantastic person, has recently gone and seen a showing of the Lord of the Rings musical.
Ooh.
And they just had the best time. Apparently, it's a fantastic show.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to think where it's showing.
That sounds
How
pretty
does that
sick,
translate
actually.
to a musical? That's interesting.
Apparently, really fucking well.
The Hobbit's going to Isengard. God.
Yeah, so it's showing in Newbury until October 15th. It's a 12-week showing at the Watermill Theatre in Berkshire.
Oh.
And people should definitely check it out. It's had repeated 5 stars, and she was saying it was reduced her to tears. And it's just, if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, go and see it.
Well, I am gonna vote for Lord of the Rings for this one. I'm afraid
I'm on a fucking losing streak at the moment. What fucking bollocks is this?
Mate, you absolutely steamrolled everyone.
Yeah. Also, you've got 25 entries, mate. These 2 didn't get through, but your next one might do. Like, don't worry about it. I need this.
That's what I'm going for. What about you, Jack?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Lord of the Rings. I love Godzilla. I love Ghidorah. I love all of that. But it's fucking Lord of the Rings. It's like the seminal fantasy work of the 20th century.
Whatever.
So I'll have to argue against myself on the
Yeah, you fucking into it, Brandon.
No, that's on me. Yeah,
Get the fuck.
We need to bear in mind this is we're talking about everything here. I guess we all need to argue for everything anyway, right? To a degree, we're talking about the best of season 1. So we've all chosen the best of each of the episodes. So we must have agreed at some point. So
that's it. Yeah, King Ghidra is still the best, whatever that category was. I think King.
It was King.
It's better than fucking Aragorn. What a prick.
Okay, should we move on to the next bracket? You can unpack that yourself.
Guess what? If I lose this one, I'm fucking quitting the podcast. I'm just saying that.
We've hit the Larry section of.
I'm ready. I'm throwing hands now. Fucking let's go. The next round is sourdough starter versus the standard template construct.
Well, you know how we need to start this with our final check-in.
If I lose this, look, I've not reapplied for it. I've been very busy recently. I've been frustrated.
I'm going for the other thing.
No, fuck you, please.
I think on that regard that you failed. You failed to.
I've been busy.
You've had so long.
Either ordered the sourdough or watched Princess and the Frog. They're two things you could have done.
Disappointed.
Yeah,
either one would have sent you through.
No one else has done homework for this podcast, so I'm not doing it.
Okay, just reel that back, mate. I have read an awful lot of Berserk, so we'll fucking get there when we get to it, mate, okay?
You wanted to do that. You wanted to do that because you wanted to do it.
No shit, though, mate. I've read more than you've read now, so when you say about homework, but I've done my homework.
Yeah, because you hyperfixate on everything fucking new that you do. That's not my fault.
Look, and also, I did my homework on the episode of Warhammer and standard template construct one for a reason, because it is the best thing in Warhammer.
Because you fucking wanked off the judges for bullshit, mate.
I did not. It does everything. It literally
exactly.
It's a fucking printer. It prints anything. Like
fucking bullshit. 3D printer win. Anyway, that's a fucking different argument.
I think Orcs would have gone a bit further had we had proper judges.
Mushroom boys.
Well, that's fine. Shout out to Kessons real quick, by the way. Loved having you on. But no, please make your arguments and not assault each other for the next 20 minutes.
No, let's assault each other. Come on. Fucking.
I preferred it when we were talking about how breedable we were.
Yeah.
Can we go back to that?
Let's change the podcast.
Sourdough starter, which is a beautiful tale that will go through the ages of just an old man and a lovely online community spreading joy, spreading baking, spreading the joy of making bread with each other. That is so much more wholesome than fucking 40k grimdark bullshit, especially when it's 40k grimdark bullshit, which is a 3D fucking printer. Do not argue with me, Robert Hayden. You will lose.
How can you say that it brings together a strong sense of community and like baking things when you didn't receive diddly shit, mate, to start off with? So that's the start. You haven't made anything.
It's a small community that it's based on volunteers. They're not paying people.
Did you get your money back?
No, because it's $2. Excellent. It's $2.
Doesn't make a difference. Didn't get your money back. Standard template construct. You wanted the best of Warhammer. I gave it to you. It's literally, it is a narrative of Warhammer 40k. Right there. Okay? Fair play. You chose Orcs. Orcs are very cool. Whatever. You chose your dinosaur men. Fine. You chose Slanesh Jack. Fine. But I've given you the entirety of 40k wrapped up into one thing. And it is the best thing.
You might as well chose Space Marines, because at least they're cool, mate.
Yes, but
not
Space
fucking
Marines
3D printer.
Space Marines are a part of 40k. They're not the whole of it, right? This standard template construct was the hope for humanity and colonization of the galaxy.
Saying, what's any fucking best category we decide, and every time you choose God or science, because look, that wraps everything up in a neat little fucking bow.
The guy who chose a fucking TARDIS for a vehicle. Fuck you.
Yes. True, but at least that was lateral thinking. He just went within the 40k universe, decided what he liked the most, which is dull, and then decided to wank off the judges for an hour.
It was very cool. You have to admit, the standard template contract and what it does, and
it's
for those that
I
don't know what it is,
nothing.
It is a... As a layman's term, it keeps getting referred to as a 3D printer.
It is a 3D printer.
It is an artificial intelligence that's created by the golden age of humanity to ship out with humans that want to, colonize different planets in the galaxy. And this thing they can talk to, and it will print them or create stuff that is needed to terraform that planet or, take over that planet. It does everything. It does literally everything.
Okay. Guess what does everything? Bread.
We're not talking about whether you've been bred or not.
Yeah.
But I can print bread. I can print the bread, mate. I can literally make it makes the bread.
Bread started human civilization, essentially. I know that's reductionist. Jack, don't fucking start on me right now. But we've got... Without that, the 40k universe wouldn't exist because humans wouldn't exist, and then the man who invented 40k wouldn't have had a fucking chance.
That's a fucking ridiculous argument.
It's kind of true though, because bread is a big important aspect of human evolution.
Did I not try to make this argument?
You do have areas of the world that aren't dependent on that sort of grain, like rice.
Yeah, but Western civilization is important. Yeah.
To be fair,
people
I love bread, so he's winning me over.
Right.
Bread is great.
Bread's great.
I do like bread. I like bread more than I like Warhammer.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, the problem is I'm arguing Warhammer, which is the best of Warhammer, against 3 people that don't like Warhammer. So, don't really appreciate
Warhammer.
40k. All right, give me a sec, mate. I'll have my nose back. That don't like Warhammer 40k. Okay, in its sort of entirety, right? I was given the task to say what the best of Warhammer is, and I think I did that perfectly, pretty much spot on.
This is like you're at school and I go, actually, I think I did the homework quite well, teacher. Fucking this bullshit.
I think War 40k is fine. I think there are many, 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 many better sci-fi. Like, in terms of stories and stuff, I think there's lots of sci-fi that does it better. So I don't really get the people that go to it for that. I understand more the people that go to it because the models are cool. Like, that's the side of it that I understand more in terms of the actual, cool. Like, I get people that like the aesthetic and the models. The actual stories and stuff, from what I've seen, there's just so many things that do it better.
So let me break it down. You're waking up on a Sunday. You're gonna have a really nice morning. You're gonna get some breakfast. You're just thinking about the rest of your day. You're gonna have a really good day. What would you rather wake up to? A beautiful breakfast with
some... say a beautiful wife,
or husband, or non-binary partner,
or a hot robot that can print you your breakfast.
Exactly.
What would you rather wake up to? A fucking 3D printer or a sourdough, bread with breakfast? Some avocado on there.
We addressed
some tomatoes.
In the husbando episode that husband and wife are not gender-specific terms.
We did.
You can be a female husbando.
Yeah.
You can be a non-binary wife. That's all. That's
as long as you're hot.
That's it.
But you can print all. So this argument you're making, Ryan, is stupid. Like, would you rather wake up to bread, or would you rather wake up to a replicator? Probably the replicator, mate, because I'm like, I could eat whatever the fuck I want, eggs Benedict, because it's the king breakfast.
Yeah, but you're getting no joy. You're getting no joy from that because you're getting instantaneous gratification rather than having that delayed gratification of making bread from scratch. How satisfying is that?
So the thing, first of all, isn't it that the I can't remember its fucking name? 40k 3D printer. It can just make one thing.
No,
each one can.
Oh my fucking god, no. Right, okay.
I thought it was like they got one that built spoons or something.
We
Okay.
didn't listen to it, so it's fucking boring.
The standard template construct was created as this thing that could print. You say print. It creates anything. It builds anything. It breaks down matter and builds it back up to whatever you want, right? They got lost over time. They weren't looked after when the warp came in and was like, fucking motherfuckers, we're gonna fuck this shit up, and then we don't want humans like colonizing too much of the galaxy. They all spread out. They lost them all, right? What's being found now in the 40k sort of lore, as it is at the moment, are printouts from these standard template constructs, which they are then using to create the thing that it printed out, right? So like knives. Or like spoons, like you said.
It's even
right?
worse. It's a fucking faxed recipe from the fucking 90s about 3D
but people
printing.
Fight over this stuff. Like, it's really important because
people
there is
fight over oil and it's shitty black liquid.
Yeah, but there's no. Everything is analog in the 40k universe now. There is no development. Everything is the same. They just do the same shit. So when they find this stuff from these old standard template constructs, it's a big deal. It can be like the change of a war.
I'm sure it is.
Okay. It's Dragon Quest Builders, I know, but.
That should have been a winner. Builders 2 was brilliant.
Builders 2 is really good. So what is it? What are you choosing there? The
standard template
before
construct.
they were lost.
Yes, the standard template construct.
Before they were lost.
Yes, the thing.
Okay, so we could ignore the story stuff after that.
If you really want to, but surely
because we're looking at the actual thing.
But it's still done. It's still printed out the thing that they're then going. Oh, we found this knife. Great. It still created that. The standard template construct did that. That's what it does.
Yeah. Okay. So it in its like perfect original form, it's a Star Trek.
We've already had this fucking argument.
Yes. Yeah. No. I know we have. Yes. But this is how I'm going to understand it.
Yes.
Because
the
replicator is a thing that I know.
Yes.
Like, okay, so it's a replicator that can it creates matter from nothing, or...
No. It breaks down matter and then into sort of molecular components, then builds them back up into whatever the fuck you want.
The Star Trek replicator, it's the same thing. On the ships, it'll break down feces and things, like waste products.
Okay, yeah.
Or broken things, it breaks them down, it reconstitutes them. Mm-hmm. So it's exactly that same thing. It's just, the cool thing is that they were lost and they're being rediscovered. They're rediscovered in a world where nothing like that happens.
They don't. Yeah, there's no sort of human development. They don't sort of create anything because they're scared of AI. Because of this is going to go really into Warhammer.
Yeah,
and
no.
I feel like I'm the only one that's still actually listening to Warhammer podcasts like that. I would still like every week.
Yeah, I think I probably.
But like, it's really interesting. Like that whole. It is a really good narrative of like where it started in terms of like the beginning of the 40k universe, I guess, all the way up to 40k where we're at now. It's really good. It's super interesting, and I know you guys are like, oh no, you know, Warhammer doesn't do this, blah blah blah, whatever. Like, I don't care. I've listened to the podcast. There's really fucking cool. There's some really cool shit in it.
That's fine. If it's something that gets you reading, Robert, then it can only be good things.
I don't listen to it, but
when you wanna read like grown-up books, I can find you some, okay?
I don't need to do that.
I'm joking. I know they're perfectly good books.
In the meantime, bread is better than this, right? Come on. Sourdough bread is better than that.
I think the thing that has definitely tipped me towards bread was, you mentioned it really flippantly, is like the process of making bread.
It's so satisfying. Making something from scratch like bread or cake is... We get so much instantaneous gratification in the modern age. You fucking go on Facebook, you get a fucking notification. Oh, serotonin. Fucking Diablo gives you serotonin all the time. All these games give you serotonin. But you have to wait. You have to wait to improve overnight. And you bake it and it comes out perfect. And it's like your little baby boy. It's beautiful.
I think the process tips me, and with sourdough, there's the extra sort of stages of that where you're feeding it and developing.
You keep it going for ages, and you'll keep on making batch after batch of beautiful, beautiful bread.
Most of the time, I'm making dog shit bread, but it's fun to do.
There we go.
So I think I'm leaning towards bread mostly because of that.
Bread.
No, I mean, real quick, before I get into my opinions. It's not sourdough bread that's the choice. It's the very specific sourdough starter.
Which you can go on to and make bread.
Of course you can make bread and probably other things. But just to quickly clarify, because a lot of bread is being thrown around. It's not actually the bread that's the choice. Now, here's the thing. I'm stuck very much between a rock and a hard place here. Because Ryan's come forward with sourdough starter. Heartwarming story. Brilliant. However, you paid £2, you've still not had it, and I've been on the edge of my seat waiting for you to get this fucking sourdough start that's never arrived. You've had your moment, right? He's not fucking turned up. However, Rob has brought, in my humble opinion, I'm sure he's about to whinge about what I'm going to say, you have brought, in my opinion, the most boring thing you could find in Warhammer 40k possible, right? I'm sure for story purposes it's integral. I understand that that's one of the reasons why so many wars happen and how it causes development, and it was such a brilliant machine.
It's the equivalent of the One Ring, isn't it? Like it's the reason everything interesting happens.
Never did I think that I would be the one that would be in the sea of chimps at the moment. I'm speaking to chimps. You are chimps when it comes to Warhammer.
Can I finish my fucking point?
No. Yeah,
finish my point
real quick.
So, it's a doodad. It's just a thing to make the story happen. Sorry, Brandon, you go.
So you pick... Right, I understand it's, an incredible world-changing device, right? Turns your shit into whatever you need.
Galaxy
probably
changing.
Makes it... Yeah. Well, whatever. brilliant, fantastic. And that then sort of failing is what's caused a lot of the conflict within 40k and causing a lot of the wars. However, a lot of cool stuff in 40k is them fighting. Yeah? Ryan, I will get to you. Just let me make this point because I'm going to lose track.
I'm waiting patiently. Yep.
Right, and let's be honest, the interesting and cooler parts of 40k is all the factions fighting and the crazy wars between them, yeah? That will still happen without the standard template construct because you have things like, not exclusively, but like the orcs, they don't need it at all. They just work on friendship and magic to make stuff work and develop their technology. They would still be waging war across the galaxy because they, I believe, because someone else has done some homework, were raised by spawns from a really ancient race set up before the template constructs, or a species that was separate to the humans that made it. You've got, I believe, the Necrons, which were their bad guys, had nothing to do with standard template construct. They're just angry Egyptian skeletons. Maybe a bit more to it than that, but probably not. And so all of those other forces would still be spanning the galaxy, causing shit to go wrong and starting those wars without people having crazy spoon technology. So you could still get to the cool and interesting things of Warhammer 40k without your standard template construct. Obviously, it's still a major part of it, brilliant, but the thing itself, it's dull, man. You've picked a dull choice. Yes, Ryan.
I will. My final argument. I know I've been lax on the sourdough starters. If sourdough starters gets through, I will buy everybody on this podcast a sourdough starter from the United States.
No, don't listen to that fucking bullshit, okay? That's bullshit. That's not allowed.
It's not bullshit, I promise.
It's dangerously close to a bribe there, Ryan. I think we need to have a discussion.
Also, you say, so wars aren't waged over...
Oh, can we stop talking about Warhammer?
No, it is true. It is true,
yeah,
right?
They are, yes.
Also, you said there's still stuff there if you don't talk, if that isn't included. Well, humans wouldn't have expanded as much into the galaxy without them. Also, there's other fucking shit other than bread. Like, you don't have to eat bread. Like, if you didn't want to eat sourdough...
Yeah, it's fucking nice though, isn't it?
But the point is, the argument you've made, Brandon, is that it works the same way. Like,
that's not the argument I'm making.
Ryan's thing is great. Sourdough is wonderful, right? Can still eat loads of other shit if I didn't have sourdough.
I'm fucking sick of talking about Warhammer. Can we all just decide, please?
So my point is, right, Ryan's not saying that's the only be-all and end-all, and that's not the point, right? The sourdough is its own thing, but you're pushing the standard template construct is what started the rest of the Warhammer 40k pot. You're the one pushing that's the reason why it's got interesting, and it's not.
So, okay, other interest up. The fucking thing prints can print anything from like a fucking crop duster to a fucking warship, mate. That is sick. It can create food. Like,
great.
That is cool. That is so good. Oh, whatever. Just make a fucking mind up. I'm bored of this now. What are you saying?
I'm going fucking sourdough
standard complete
starter is what I'm going.
Fucking hell.
God, that can also make tons of things like bread or other bread. Maybe some beers.
When everyone here listens to the Outcast Sons podcast, our friends over on our 30k podcast, they'll hear me on there because I'm actually joining them. I'm leaving this.
Good.
So you guys have fun bitching about shit that you don't fucking watch or fucking read. Bullshit. Next fucking bracket.
That's the point of this fucking thing.
No. Bullshit.
No,
next bracket.
I get that you've got this thing that you really have a newfound enjoyment of, Robert. That's cool. But it's not. It is like reducing Lord of the Rings down to the One Ring. Like, it is a thing that causes the interesting stories to happen.
When you're listening to your Warhammer,
like, it's a reason for these things to fight.
When you're listening to your Warhammer podcast, you're like, man, I can't wait to see what the standard template construct gets up to next.
Oh wait, there's none of them. Nobody can find any shit. Oh well.
Well. Like it's it's a doodad that gets a story is a reason for a story to happen and to exist, or to complicate a story at some point. But it's not. I don't know. It's not like this.
Please get me out of this.
Please.
Yes. All right. I'll stop there. Like, I'm gonna go with sourdough because I get more joy from sourdough than I would get from 40k.
Wonderful. You're all receiving a free sourdough start kit in the mail as soon as I get a
Hopefully it will
chance.
turn up.
Yeah. The next bracket, boys, I'm quite excited about. I think it could be an all-time GOAT bracket because it is Guts versus the grilled cheese sandwich.
Hi, I'm just dropping in to let you know that the next section is going to talk about Berserk, so there's probably going to be some spoilers, and as it's Berserk, there's also going to be sexual and violent themes, mentions of things like sexual assault, hyperviolence, all of these things that some people may not want to listen to, and if that's the case, I'll add some timestamps in the description for you to just skip the section entirely. I'm sure we will immediately recap who won, who lost, and everyone can move on. Also, as you heard, I dropped out while they were talking about King Ghidorah. What the fuck were they going on about modern Godzilla? Like, modern Godzilla's really good. It's the American stuff that's more action orientated. You go and sit someone down in front of Shin Godzilla, that's a fucking good movie. That's fantastic. That is classic Godzilla. It's so good. And also, as of earlier today when I'm editing, there's Godzilla -1 announced, where post-war Godzilla. I'm so excited. But yes, Berserk. Don't listen to this if anything in Berserk would bother you, or you just don't want to be spoiled. We'll try and stay away from the really bad spoilers because Rob hasn't got there yet. Ryan will never get there, and only me and Brandon really know what we're talking about. But enjoy. I mean, Guts wins.
Yeah, this is what I've mentioned slightly earlier, so I'm going to go into it a bit more now. I have gone from not knowing what the fuck Berserk even is to probably knowing more than Ryan, because he is not watched. I don't think I think I've read past you now. I'm pretty sure.
You've gone past me now, yeah. So no spoilers, you prick.
I won't spoil anything.
Well, where are people up to, like, vague terms?
Oh, I know this. I can get up. I'm like chapter 1.
Or even just the...
For 130 something. I'm on chapter 145, which is
you're in the
conviction.
Conviction. That's it.
Yeah,
conviction arc.
So yeah,
145. Is that still in, like, the Band of the Hawks? Is that
no, that's Golden Age. That's Golden Age,
far
mate.
past.
So it's getting to the start of the Apostle stuff.
Yeah, it's getting.
Yeah, which is
that's been mentioned, but I think I'm getting to that. It's just I read it about 18 months ago and then stopped for some reason, and now I'm getting back into it, and it's good. But yeah,
and then
sorry, Rob.
you boys, I guess. So Jack, obviously, you must have read all of it. Have you read all of it?
I've read to the end. Yeah.
Okay, and then as into the end. Because they're still
what's
making
available.
it. Okay, yeah. And then Brandon, you've done the same?
I'm very... I think Miura did a little bit more. So mine, it was like a very long hiatus where it was basically Guts got on a boat to go to like another continent, I believe it was. It's been a while. And then there was a very long gap. So I've read a fair fucking amount and watched like a lot of the anime as well that sort of address some of the earlier stuff again more recently. So I am big into Berserk.
So I've read everything up to the end of the Conviction arc. So I'm on Millennium Falcon arc, so 177, chapter 177. And
he goes and does the castle run.
That's what it's called, isn't it? Millennium Falcon arc? That's what it's called.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
it's just funny.
Yeah, Millennium Falcon arc. Yeah. So for everyone that's listening here, I will say this from somebody that's obviously come from not reading any manga to this now. Fucking get it in your eyes, right? It's some of the best fucking written stuff I have ever sort of witnessed. I will preface this, however, right? There is a fucking problem if you do read it, because I'm telling you now, pretty much every chapter has some weird fucked up shit going on in it, because that first page on the first book, I was like, what the fuck am I reading? Okay?
For everyone that lives in London, do not read this on the tube. Don't, because people can see the reflection in the window that sit opposite you, and they will see the fucking horniest panels reflected into the fucking tube window. I think definitely go, if you want to read Berserk, it's really good dark fantasy. If you like kind of Dark Souls and stuff, that's basically what that's based on. But do go in with heavy trigger warnings and content warnings. Do be careful. Look after yourself before you watch it. And hopefully we put in some content warnings before this.
It is an anxiety-inducing mess at times. Like, Christ.
Yeah, like put on, like, I don't know, like a comfy sweater, get a nice hot chocolate on the go to the side.
Listen to lo-fi hip-hop girl. That's what I was listening to. It's like... I know my vote is grilled cheese. I love grilled cheese. I'm going for Guts. I don't give a fuck. Guts is such a fucking really well-written character, and you really feel for him from the start. All of the shit that he goes through with his sort of dad, in inverted commas, is I don't know. You kind of grow with him, right, through the chapters, and he's awesome. He's fucking cool, and that sword is sick. I've not seen him with his Wolfie armor yet. Which would be pretty cool. But like the end of that Eclipse thing, I was not expecting it to go there. It went places. Yeah, because it's pretty fucked up. I mean, we've just said the whole thing's fucked up. But Guts, if we're just talking about Guts, really cool character. As a husbando,
absolutely phenomenal. What do you mean?
Very, oh God, he's a bit buggered up.
Devoted to Casca still.
That you're true. Yeah, that is the commitment is there.
I've only ever read her name, so I can't actually think how to say it. The little witch looks after her so well.
Yeah. She's she is a vibe as well.
That's a chapter I've not read then yet because I don't think. Okay, yeah. And she's a good, he's a very good role model for the Band of the Hawk. He really was. A lot of people looked up to him.
He's
just fantastic.
Also, like later, you guys wouldn't have got to it yet, I don't think. Or maybe it isn't by then because it's afterwards. But just how his relationship builds a little bit with Puck as well.
Yeah, I've started to see that. It's very cool.
It's a slow burner, but it's good.
I won't lie, Puck pissed me the fuck off at the start, and I'm kind of still a bit pissed with it. That's
the trope in anime, which is fucking annoying. But then again, you do actually love that character after a while.
We need it as well because it's so fucking miserable. I think if Puck wasn't there, adding at least some, I'll say, comedic in inverted commas value, I would probably want to off myself. It is really miserable.
He's a breath of fresh air that is needed in that manga.
It's pretty fucking miserable. But yeah, good. I mean, grilled cheese. I mean, I will stand by the fact that grilled cheese is still the best sandwich. It is by far. Like, you can put anything in that shit.
Make a sandwich.
No, it's not. It's best Butty.
Was it best boy? No,
it's best Butty, mate. The sourdough start we just had, mate.
Oh, mate, it's been a long fucking episode. You lot have been ranting about Warhammer with bad opinions for a while. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I will stick with that with the grilled cheese. But I can't win over Guts. I'm sorry.
So are you conceding? Is it next round?
I can concede because Guts is fucking sick.
He's the best husbando.
True.
I still don't know about that, Jack. I don't know.
100%. Like you're just we've had a whole conversation through the 40k thing. Your media literacy just leaves a little bit to be desired. We know that.
You fucking piss a lot of people off.
You've not got to some of the bits. You've not got to some of the bits where he shows more that side of him, besides his caring for Casca.
Let's not spoil it for the people in the chat.
It's not a spoiler as much as his caring side definitely comes out more and more. And like when I'm trying to place events before Ryan has got to where he stays with the Smith.
Yeah.
Like how he is with those kids and things like you see these parts of him, and those are the parts that end up being developed more and more as he continues to let the walls down around for the people in his family.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he's 100% is. Because he just fills any role you could.
I think it's good as well, and he does sort of show, because obviously that was work that it did span over quite a while. Miura was writing and developing it, and so you can see that obviously as Miura just aged and how he was writing and developing stuff, and so that character does sort of grow and develop to a degree with you as you wrote. Like reading through it, you can really see that sort of growth, I guess, and so it's such a well-written character. Yeah, I mean, it's Guts, man. Like, grilled cheese is nice and all, but it's Guts, isn't it? Let's be honest. Let's not faff about.
So our first semi-final, quarterfinals, Jesus, is the Pokemon Go versus Lord of the Rings. Start your engines. Let's go.
Well, I mean, both phenomenal. Personally, I would side more with Lord of the Rings over Pokemon Go.
Done, then.
Pokemon Go's brilliant still, and I do stand by the sort of social and, health benefits as well of getting people outside and talking to people and, going through parks and everything. I think that's brilliant. I'm a huge advocate for, people going out and doing exercise and doing stuff in any way, shape or form. But I personally just love fantasy shit. And Lord of the Rings is good fantasy shit, and it's inspired a lot of better fantasy shit. It's just more of my vibe, personally. So, for me, it's Lord of the Rings, but...
Okay.
Does anyone want to take Pokemon's corner?
I will. Well, I don't want to say... I just... When... Obviously, a lot of people know Lord of the Rings. I really like how, when Pokemon Go came out, you had this, plethora of ages of people, right?
Yeah.
That were fuck yeah. Saying, I love... Okay, Pikachu, everyone knows Pikachu. It's Squirtle. Which is that Pikachu? And people were talking about the original starters or the original 151 Pokemon. And I was like, it brought out a lot of, the child in people, and especially a generation or an older generation where sometimes people are kind of scared to show that they were kids once, right? And they like things. I mean, our generation's very different. I mean, I'm sure when I'm 60, I'll be like, fuck yeah, I love Pokemon, let's go. Except from those new games in inverted commas that we get now, which are all shit. But that you don't really see too much of that, right? And that brought a lot of that childish play out of people, and I love that. How cool is that, man? I could talk to my parents about Pokemon. That would never happen normally. My uncle really got into it, and he was walking the dogs. He has dogs, he's walking them everywhere, but he's walking even more now because he's trying to catch Pokemon. It's just I really like that. That's really lovely. Go on, Brian, sorry.
I will also take Pokemon Go's corner because yes, Lord of the Rings was a cinematic event. It was the same kind of it came out at the same time, at least as I remember it. In high school, you had the two camps of people that really liked the Harry Potter films and people that liked the Lord of the Rings films. It was a cultural event when, I think we were all growing up and millennials were growing up. But Pokemon Go, it was such a uniter of so many different age groups, religions, just people all came together and just had a fucking nice, wholesome time outdoors. And I've not seen that since. I've not seen that before. And it was such a beautiful summer of people just being nice to each other because they saw someone with Pokemon Go on their phone and were like, right, let's help you get this gym, or I've just not seen that before, and it's just beautiful. So I think, in my opinion, I've got to go for Pokemon Go.
I think I'm actually going to change my answer. Pokemon Go. No, I think you've made better arguments than I have. No, because you're right, because it's that sort of community and stuff, and that's such a big thing of it, whereas, and Lord of the Rings is very much more my vibe. But yeah, you can't deny the power of Pokemon Go. Bring people together. I think that's important, actually. So I'm going to change my mind, actually. I'm in with Pokemon.
Where'd you go, Jack? Go on.
I mean, I want to go with Lord of the Rings. I love Pokemon. I think Pokemon Go is a really fantastic, genius idea, which is why people still are playing it, and there's still fan-festy stuff going on. I can't say no to Lord of the Rings. And I'm not just talking about the cinematic side of Lord of the Rings. I mean all of it. The books, everything about it is just so fantastic, and has spawned so many other things and will inspire fantasy from now on. I will say Lord of the Rings, dog shit. Mobile games. There hasn't been anything on mobile for Lord of the Rings like there has for Pokemon.
If they brought out Lord of the Rings Go.
Go.
I mean,
Gollum go.
don't tell Google, because Google are trying anything to capture that lightning in a bottle again. And they're definitely not. They've even got Monster Hunter now that they're trying to bring out at the moment.
It's not the same, though. Like, Pokemon, it's known by so many people that was the joy of it, right?
I'm not convinced that it's even the Pokemon IP that helps that much. Like, I think it helps, but I think it's more just the collectathon side of it that worms its way into people.
Yeah.
Like, it's addictive. And the problem is they keep choosing all these IPs that just do not have that. Like, they've tried it with Harry Potter. Harry Potter doesn't have that side of things. Monster Hunter doesn't really have that side of things.
Oh, and it does. It only has it for, like, those select few people like ourselves that actually know Monster Hunter. So outside of that, in Japan, it's going to be massive.
I
but
imagine
in the West,
a lot of stuff where they bring out a new version of that. Most people are like, oh, yeah, so it's just your version of Pokemon Go. I'll probably just go play Pokemon Go again.
Yeah, I'll go and play this one that has more content. Like,
also, I wouldn't want to run away from the Pokemon, whereas the monsters are
terrifying, yeah.
I mean, I've played that. Capcom, for some reason, I must be signed up to something. They sent me hey, try the beta of this. And I had a look at it for a day just to see what it was. And, like, the collection side of it is the armor. And it's just... I don't know. I don't really want to go out and just kill stuff for an hour.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a fine one of those, but I'd rather just go back and play more Pokemon Go if I'm going to do that.
I might actually download Pokemon Go now.
Is that our answer then?
Speak for itself.
Yeah, I'm happy with Pokemon Go winning. I personally would go Lord of the Rings just because it's had such a huge influence on me personally. But in terms of... And I think Pokemon Go has an advantage because it started and became popular at a time and in an age where it could engage with communities that way. Whereas Lord of the Rings, even at its big cinematic revival, was sort of just before that sort of thing happened. Even when the films came out, like, it was before people were connected in the same way they were when Pokemon Go came out. So it hasn't had an opportunity to have a revival at a time where it could pop off in the same way. I see what you mean.
So basically, social media is sort of...
I think so. Yeah, I think that's the main big reason that Pokemon Go is so huge, is because it's so easy for people to connect over it and to maintain those connections.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
The idea that when those films came out, people would choose the Harry Potter films over them is fucking insane, and those people need to be shot.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
That was fucking me as a child. What a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, no, get some culture in you.
Me. So Pokemon Go has gone through.
Yeah, I think something to that. I definitely aligned with Lord of the Rings first because it's had more of a cultural impact on me and more of an interest. But I don't know. I think for the masses as a whole, Pokemon Go. But it's a tough one. And what's the next tough bracket, Royster?
It is the Sourdough Starter versus Guts.
I mean, Guts would beat the shit out of Sourdough.
You'd eat the fuck out of some sourdough, to be fair.
We need to make sure we're not just barreling Guts through because Guts is cool. Because he's very cool.
That's how I barrel stuff through anyway.
Because... Guts is Guts is very cool, rounded. That's the wrong word. I don't think he's a rounded character. He's a very spiky chap, but like he's not very. It's not very cheery, And the thing is,
it's not for everyone.
I guess I'm thinking
certainly not for anyone.
Ryan's already catching Pokemon.
Let's go.
He's on it.
I'm thinking of this round and also the potential next round. Right? How impactful. Oh, God, that's a fucking stupid thing to say. Because Berserk is very impactful. Berserk's impactful because, as Ryan earlier mentioned, so much has been developed on the back of that story, like Dark Souls, that obviously, without it, you wouldn't have it, right? You wouldn't have things like Dark Souls or Elden Ring or whatever. But it's not very cheery. Guts isn't a very cheery
It's
chap,
not cheery, but things don't need to be cheery to be good.
I'm not fucking cheery. I
guess
good.
what I'm trying to think of is bringing people together. Would Guts... Would that... I don't know.
It's if we're looking at it for the masses, it's one where Guts is fucking badass, right? Love it. We're all fans of it. I think if you need to look at it as a whole, though, is the problem, and there's going to be a lot of people, I guess for want of better phrasing, can't handle Guts or that world or those stories. It's pretty fucking hardcore, man. I ain't going to gather the kids around the campfire and read out some Berserk, but I would share some sourdough.
Exactly.
So it's definitely more approachable to the masses and something that everyone can just get on board with. Whereas Guts is pretty.
It's just
rough.
one argument, like, because we're not. Although, like, we just use that as the main argument for Pokemon Go versus Lord of the Rings, it's not actually, like, we're not looking at most impactful thing. We're just looking at best.
Yes, but there's still a lot of people that would not consider that the best because they wouldn't vibe with that world and that story, and it just being very dark and oppressive.
Okay, but it isn't the world; it is the character.
I guess Guts does have a big sword, and he, as you said, he would fuck up that sourdough. I mean, that sword's big.
He would go to town on that sourdough. My God, and they would ship it to him. They wouldn't dare delay his delivery.
True, yeah. I think
They give him extra.
That's where you're going wrong, right? You need to get like a big slab of iron. And
you get the Dragon Slayer. So where's my fucking sourdough starter?
Brandish it everywhere you go. Where's my fucking coffee? That'd be good.
Yeah, I don't know. Because also, I mean, fair play. I mean, he's clearly dedicated to his health and fitness. That dude must bang the gym. He's got a great sort of,
I mean, you saw him training with that sword.
Well, the muscle mass. The amount I see a lot of TikToks. Because I get a lot of workout fitness TikToks, and a lot of them are also people
the guys
training to swing the Dragon Slayer. Yeah, multiple different people.
But what I don't because he trained with a smaller sword. The sword wasn't that big that he originally used.
Because he was a smaller man.
Yeah, of course. But then he went he's been training with this sword. Fine, it's pretty big, and I was like, I'll take that table. I was like, mate, you aren't lifting that.
To be fair, I assume the manga didn't cover the months where it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, this sword's big. This is really impractical.
I mean, it did montage over that. I mean, it comes from when he was a child training with like a full-size sword, wasn't it? Because they wouldn't give him anything smaller. I just, judging him as... It's such a weird thing, and we knew we were going to get to this, is we're comparing a thing people can do as a hobby against a character and trying to assess how good they are relative to each other.
So we need to almost remove the rest of Berserk and Berserk as a whole, and it's purely focused on that character then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and even if we want to get even more down into the I think Guts is a better husbando than Sourdough is a starter.
Okay, that's quite interesting.
That's actually that's a good point.
You need to back your side, Ryan, a little bit with your sourdough starter.
Yeah, you're just off playing Pokemon Go, which I think favours me in this next round.
Oh, he's got me there, boys. What can I say?
Yeah, I've been listening. Have you used to be playing Pokemon Go the whole time?
I'm so professional on this podcast. I can't believe it.
He's just been trying to catch a spinner he's not playing a fucking...
What is that you can fucking do on it? You're sat still.
It's hard for me to combat this, where I've had to fight so hard in the last round for a sourdough starter versus Guts, which has literally been chatted about for 20 minutes because we've all liked it so much. How do I come back from that? I can't say we all like bread again because that's not going to fly this time.
We do like bread.
Do you like bread enough more than Guts?
Well, that's the
I do like
that's what
bread.
I'm trying to figure out.
But we're not talking about bread. We're talking about the sourdough starter. It's not about bread.
Let's go back to your old argument. If you woke up in the morning, nice early Sunday,
would you rather
would you rather be greeted with some sourdough
starter or a traumatized man? What would you have?
A big fucking sword and incredible delts.
Ryan, answer that question for yourself. Would you rather wake up next to bread or Guts?
It depends how horny I was on a given day.
Just cuddling up to him like Casca in the forest. Come on.
Listen, there's probably been times when we've wanted to cuddle up to a sourdough bread, in all fairness. So.
Yeah, I don't think I have the physique to model Casca, but one day, maybe, who knows?
No, but I bet you'll still give him the flashback, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. It does the same thing.
I don't want to give someone traumatic experience flashbacks, but that's not what I want in any kind of relationship. But okay, pop off, Queen.
What are we saying here? What are we saying is the best?
I mean, I'm going Gut because it's just as a character.
I don't think I can win. I can give you the fucking, the emotional story about internet communities again, but it's not going to win, is it? It's not going to win.
Yeah,
I think if we look at it, I think where what Jack said of Guts being a better husbando than sourdough starter was a better starter. While they're still obviously the best because the council has spoken in the grand scheme of things of that bracket.
I think if we're breaking that down, sourdough starter won because it was kind of a left field sub story versus, you're exactly right, Brandon. Guts is a better husbando. So you know what? I'm going to do Rob with a grilled cheese sandwich. I'm just going to concede because
I'll give it to Guts. I will give it to Guts. I mean, sourdough is fucking sick, but
again, he's everything you want from a husband.
I can't believe I've rigged the fucking bracket to have one of mine in every single bracket, and I still fucking lost.
I respect it. Well, Ryan, you're
the biggest loser.
I know.
Yeah,
I hate this.
You already won, phase one of getting through
the whole bloody thing, Brandon.
Yeah, well, that's what season 2's for, baby.
Semi-finals, let's go. It's Pokemon Go versus Guts, and I think this is going to be a fucking piece of piss for Guts, but there we go.
All right, well,
I
we don't know that.
about that.
Real quick, when are we doing Peachy? Are we doing Peachy after that, or what do you reckon? Where do
you
we
want
peach?
a break from talking about Guts and Pokemon for a minute?
Should we have a little tag out?
Yes, please.
Okay. Maybe we should have a moment.
You can insert the theme song right here.
A cup of fucking peach, baby. Let's go.
I think Ryan should sing it again, but with you saying peach again, Brandon. But do it live. Do it live.
Yeah. I mean, that peach, that was Ryan just taken from a later point in time, but I'll add the peach.
I thought it was you saying peach.
No, baby, but it now can be. I'll peach it up. Let's go.
You got to say peach when he says
You ready?
I understand the concept, Robert. Don't come on now. I created the song. I put it together. No.
All right, I'm going to point at the screen when it's your turn to go, okay?
Oh, the latency is going to really fuck with this.
Let's go. Cup of
peach
in the morning, cup of
peach
in the evening, cup of peach. Got him, boys.
Okay. Okay, right, who's going first? Stupid fucking podcast. I'm not going first.
Wait, are they not redoing that until they get it right?
That's done. That's good.
We need 20 minutes of that, of retakes for me to stick at the beginning or the end or wherever the fuck I'm going to put it.
Go on, Jack. You peachy it first. Go on.
I can go first. Yeah, I've
baby,
got a few because it's been a while. I'll keep all but one short. First of all, hey, it's me. I'm going to bring something Star Trek. Star Trek Strange New Worlds finished up its second season. Fantastic, always a fantastic choice to have Hot Pike as the captain and Samont as Pike. Absolutely phenomenal. They had an episode where they crossed over with the animated series. Also fucking phenomenal. The next thing, playing a shitload of Baldur's Gate 3. I love D&D. I love Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. I love Baldur's Gate 3. Fantastic game. Game of the year. Easy. But the main thing is I actually want to talk about a streamer who does fantastic work. I don't particularly enjoy sitting watching Twitch, watching people play games, because if I want to play a game, I'll go and play it. And a lot of the people on Twitch just sort of sit there and mumble into a microphone like we do, and that's not really something I want to spend time listening or engaging with, because I'm better than you. And that's, I can't help that.
Fuck it up.
There is a streamer called Dead Blossom Jesse. They are absolutely fantastic. They do not play games. They do what they call Freak Fuck Fridays. They just find freaks and watch them on there. They watch YouTube videos, comment on them, laugh at them, make jokes. But then they also do some absolutely wild things. So they've got Fucked Up Jeopardy, where they get other people on and they play Jeopardy in the most sort of weird question way. They have all these really elaborate bits. On Friday, they had a stream the rewind stream, where every time you tipped them, started off $20, went down to 10, they had to go back 2 minutes and repeat the stream from 2 minutes ago to the best of their knowledge. They ended up getting really meta with it, where they went days and days in the past as people kept gifting.
How the
repeating streams from months ago with the same videos and things.
What?
They had an extended bit where they were eating a sandwich and drinking some iced tea, where the rewind meant they would have to eat a sandwich every time they had a new sandwich to make it look like they were taking their first bit of the sandwich.
Christ.
They opened a can of drink. They'd bought like 10, 12 iced teas that they were opening fresh each time for the click. It is so good. They've had an entire stream in the bathtub. Oh, what else? The glue stream was fantastic. That's another recent one where they were just gluing things to their heads and then also gluing their arms and hands together and gluing themselves to the keyboard and trying to play Hotline Miami while glued to the WASD keys. It's a fucking fever dream.
So is this real, or have you actually just gone mad? Is that
so? The reason I want to sort of bring them forward is because they don't create content like other people. Like they put so much effort into this thing, and then they subvert it in really fun, cool ways. And it's just a really good time watching someone create quality content on a service that is so often stuff that where it's just someone playing a game and mumbling. And like that's fine. There are people who do the video game streams really well, but have
you watched
I'd rather watch the more engaging side of things.
Have you watched Doug?
I've not.
And he does really cool stuff with his Twitch chat with all these games and stuff. He's the one that I think we mentioned him really briefly when you said about raising money for Monterey Bay Aquarium, and he does a stream every year for Rosa's birthday, which is one of the sea otters, and he raised like hundreds of thousands of dollars for this otter, which is pretty cool. But I do agree, like there's a lot of Twitch that's a bit sort of like, oh, it's all a bit the same shit, isn't it, really?
It's very saturated, isn't it?
Yeah,
whereas that sounds pretty cool. Yeah, like
as I said, there are people that do that stuff really well, but there's so many people there, and it's not the sort of stuff I necessarily want to watch all the time. Someone putting the effort in like that and actually wanting to create content and not just stream a video game makes all of the difference. I think it would be really cool if we could stream as a group at some point and sort of find some time to do that.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Do something a bit different.
It's a different vibe, and I think we could maybe come up with some fun things to do. Fun stuff to put Rob through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put me through fucking bullshit. I'm glad you're feeling peachier this time round, Jack. That's nice to hear. Go on then, who's next? I'm going last.
Ryan.
I'm going second last.
Ooh,
go on, Ryan.
Hello. It has been a while since we last recorded, and it's probably my fault because I've been in Australia. But despite that, Australia was lovely. I saw a big crocodile. I chatted some shit about what I do for a living. It's not important. But I'm going to put as my peachy for this week the Lionesses, the England women's team, doing phenomenally well.
Yes.
I love watching football. I love women's football. I can't wait. I cannot wait until the final tomorrow. Even if, they don't win and Spain win, they've done phenomenally well. I'll be so proud of them. Like, my whole TikTok is just videos and like funny memes and Mary Earps being hilarious and Ella Toon being absolutely hilarious. They're just great people, inspirations to us all. And oh my god, if they win the fucking World Cup tomorrow, I'm going to be on another stratosphere, planet/universe of drunk in a phenomenal place. So let's go. Fucking let's go.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. Also, they won me 30 quid on Thursday, so big fan. Hopefully, same again tomorrow, ladies. Same again.
Oh, yeah.
That's good, man. Yeah, no, I got on that hype as well. It's been a hot minute since we've recorded, so I'm also trying to remember anything cool that's happened in the meantime and worried that I've then gone too far back in time and that I've already possibly mentioned it. So I'm going to sprinkle a few things out there and see where we land. I finally got around to watching the D&D movie that came out, Honor Among Thieves. Fantastic film. Highly recommend. It was a lot better than I was expecting. It was very good. I bought the new Final Fantasy finally, Final Fantasy 16. Possibly having a better time than Jack was. But I've been having fun with it. I've been enjoying it.
Combat's
do have
great.
some gripes.
Story starts strong and then just is boring.
See, it's interesting because the combat is where that's my main gripe, is that, frankly, I think just double down. Just go all out Devil May Cry with it.
I think it'd be a better game if it did. I think it'd be a much better game if it did. It's fine.
Yeah. It's all right. Maybe I'll finish it, but Baldur's Gate is coming out soon, and Starfield, so there's too many other games. I'm so desperate to play Baldur's Gate. And I won £30 on Thursday from the Lionesses game, so I think that's a nice little trifecta right there. Don't know about you guys. Oh, new season of Backy's come out. I've started watching that. That's pretty fucking rad as well. That's pretty good.
I need to watch that.
It's good.
I need to watch that. Is it good? Is it good?
It's pretty wild, yeah.
I've been taking up with Jujutsu Kaisen. For I say taking up, it was only a couple of episodes, but yeah, I need to get on Backy. So fucking Backy's so good, man. It's so over the top. It's
stupid. I love it. It's absurd.
Only there where you see like a 16 pack on a person.
Yeah. Well, incredibly mild spoilers about it. It was covered in the season before, but the main premise of this one is that they've basically just defrosted a huge jacked caveman that used to kill T-Rexes, and now all the other characters want to just fight the jacked caveman.
Makes me so angry.
It's beautiful. Why does that make you angry, Ryan? Why can't cavemen be ripped?
Cavemen, T-Rexes, there's not a crossover there, but you know.
Yeah, were you there? You don't know. Were you there?
No, we crack on. In that fantasy universe, it might be true, but it just pisses me off anyway.
Just watch Backy, Ryan.
No.
Just watch it.
Ryan, if you watch Backy, you'll soon realise that is probably the most plausible thing in that anime.
Fair enough. If I can watch someone punch a T-Rex, it's just fun, so I'll watch it. Let's go.
There's a part earlier on where a man has his hand cut off and he says, "Thank you, now I can punch better," and beats a guy to death with a stump. It's metal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe I'm on this hype.
It's very good. Have you seen it, Jack? Have you watched Backy? I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I I've read bits, but I've not watched the anime.
It's fucking
stupid. It's so good.
It's so good. Oh dear. Okay, is it me next? Or last? Not been so good the past couple of weeks, but I have on TikTok been watching something called The Adventures of Nigel and Marmalade, right? Little short form cartoons. I think they're drawn in paint.
Fuck's sake.
If you go on TikTok and you search for @TomBates, he's done this mini cartoon series on TikTok of this little wizard called Nigel and riding on his dog horse steed, Marmalade. And it's just fucking brilliant. Like, it's such a simple animation. The comedy is just fucking hilarious. It's very British because there's just one guy doing all of the accents, and he's like pulling from like a Birmingham accent up to like a Scouse accent, and then goes into the Geordie accent, and it's fucking. I'm sorry. I know I've sent you guys this stuff. Yep. I don't know if I've sent it to you, Jack. I need to send it to you on TikTok. If
we don't talk outside of the podcast.
That's true, actually. Yeah, so I won't bother. So, if you use TikTok, Jack, I'll be sending you some.
I use it. I don't see how it's I don't see how it's like a social media thing. Like, I just want the algorithm to send me cute animals.
You just want the fucking piss wizard back on your timeline again.
Piss wizard.
I don't use it like a social media app. I know it is. I know people use it that way. I don't. I just flick through, watch stuff, and flick through to the next thing.
I forward the funny videos that the chosen few get forwarded, and it's very good. But yes, watch it. It's fucking hilarious. I'm sorry. It's just hilarious, man. Like, it's so small. It's just tongue in cheek. It's easy to watch. It's great. The Adventures of Nigel and Marmalade. Fucking top tier.
It's great. It's Tom Bates from Yogscast, isn't he?
Oh shit, is that actually?
Yeah, he works with them. I don't think he's in any videos. I haven't watched any of their videos for a decade, so I don't know for sure. But I know he's there. Disclaimer,
today is the 19th of August 2023. He is not yet a nonce or done anything bad, so I'm just putting that out there. Let's see what happens, right?
I think most of them are fine. I think it was just the two.
Two? Well, Was it just two? No, there was
think
more
it was
than
just
two.
the two.
The ASMR bloke.
Is there more than two?
Yeah, the ASMR bloke. There
Who's
was
the ASMR bloke?
I don't know what his name was, but he did something pretty naughty.
I have to Google
Jin
ASMR.
and what's his name? I forgot his bloody name now.
Cap. I don't know that name, but I recognise his face as one of the nonces, yeah.
And then the lead one, the CEO chap, I forgot his name. How bad is that? Oh, Terps.
Yeah.
And Jin.
Right.
But anyway,
that's
not peachy.
Should we move swiftly on from nonsense?
Can you imagine?
We had to get a mention in somewhere.
Can you imagine if it does come out tomorrow that he's a raging nonce? I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but could you imagine?
That's just more editing for Jack. He's got to put it in there.
Imagine.
The next day we found out it was a nonce.
Check your Twitter feed in the morning. Right, shall we move on? That was lovely, boys. Thank you so much. Everyone, brilliant peaches. I'm glad we're all happy with something. So, the semi-final.
It is
Pokemon Go versus Guts. I'm up against it.
You are.
Let's be honest, I'm up against it. It's a tough one. However, I'm going to try. I know that we keep making a point about how it's not really down to the amount of people and blah, blah. But what if it was? And so I'm going to go with Pokemon Go being the best because it is more accessible for more people and is able to bring more people together and socialise. And then when you're out at the gyms, you can be like, oh, by the way, did you read that last chapter of Berserk? They're like, yeah, and it's more things to bond over. I thought, yeah, Guts is the best husbando. Listen to Best Butties podcast.
Let's go swing a sword around until we're...
While we're swiping,
let's go swinging is something different. You can't just say, let's go swinging.
Yeah, to 8-year-olds as well. Come on now. No.
Yeah, but no, my point is that people of a legal age can also play Pokemon Go. But no, I think it's more of a community impact. There is, again, I'll push it more, a bigger impact on getting people out exercising and just getting out in nature and fresh air and doing stuff that may not really ever bother or a lot less. Or just something that is so simple that can get people out walking and talking to each other and doing a little something that definitely benefits you. I think that's a very important thing that you should keep in mind. But Guts is hot. But
I was going to say, go on, Jack, with Guts, go on.
The only thing with Pokemon Go is so over the pandemic, they brought in some changes to make it easier for people to play without moving about. Great. They then promptly rolled those changes back post-pandemic, which seems fine and logical. However, has meant that they've essentially abandoned a lot of their support for people with mobility issues who cannot get out and about and still should be able to play that game, and were invested in that community and giving money to that company and now cannot do that in the same way. So that's an issue.
It's always a scandal. You always find some sort of fucking...
Jack always finds it.
He just goes trolling through. He's like, oh, so Lotad's a drug smuggler, so that's a problem.
Think of the amount of people that Berserk or Guts has given really bad mental health issues to, because that is not a good...
He's killed hundreds
of people. And it's not a good time.
Mostly demons.
He killed a lot of people.
A lot of people, mate.
A lot of dudes.
They deserved it.
He killed like 100 people in a forest in an afternoon. He got busy with it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
they deserved it.
It is really tough. Like, I really like... I mean, both have had now an impact upon me, I guess, you could say. I think I'm still going to go for Pokemon Go, you know? It's done so much, and maybe because I've been involved more in that community. Maybe that's the reason why, because I've only started reading Berserk, right? And I can understand what impact it's had on sort of media after it. But I don't know, Pokemon Go just seems like it's just, there's more oomph to it, right? Like, people know what that shit is, and all the other shit I've already said before anyway. Don't know. I think I'd still go for Pokemon Go being the best out of the two. Oh, go on, Ryan.
So, for the audience that just hasn't seen the camera feed, I just did go for a piss during that last argument.
sent me a video or something at least. Why do we all have to miss it?
It's for the Patreon, don't worry.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird shit on this Patreon.
We've got a weird...
You mean OnlyFans?
No, it's the Patreon. It's the Patreon. It's classy. Did we discuss the impact of Berserk and Guts on Dark Souls and general media since the 2011?
You've touched on it. Like it has. The day Mura died, there were obviously lots of things all over the internet paying respects and stuff, including people grouping together in their online communities. Final Fantasy XIV is the main one I can think of where people came out dressed in their Dark Knight because Guts is the inspiration for the aesthetics of that class. Like quite obviously. It's wields similar swords, similar armor to the Berserk armor. The Berserker armor, sorry, not his wolf armor. I think there even is some that is very specifically that. You know, the thing I love about Guts as a character is he really is one of the most well-rounded characters in fiction. Like he is a strong fucking badass who will rip things to shreds, but his whole story is one of overcoming his own traumas, but then also going the extra mile to help other people do the same, and acknowledging that people are multifaceted, and caring for those people and ensuring that, you know, the people close to him are safe and able to fight alongside him or behind him. He's self-sacrificing. He's, you know, you see him grow up and learn what love is, both with Griffith and Casca, and those different forms of love. Recognize when someone that he idolizes sees him as lesser or insignificant and is using him, and struggling with his baser instincts as well, particularly where he gets a hold of the Berserker armor. That's something that I don't want to go too much into because there's a lot of spoilers there. People haven't got to it yet. You know, the way he treats Shirk, the little witch, again, almost like a daughter, although she very obviously has a little crush on him and things. You know, he's very gentle with that and dealing with that, dealing with that sort of thing of this child's affection in a way that is really emotionally intelligent, and especially that you don't expect from a character archetype that is Guts on the surface. Sorry, Ryan.
I think that's a good point to kind of jump off from. If you want to go for Guts, then yes, you can have the argument that Berserk had this big impact on media, Dark Souls, and then that's the whole of gaming since 2011, basically. Dark Souls is that big influence, and then Berserk is the input from that. But that's an argument for Berserk, not for Guts. But Guts had such a multifaceted character arc and such multifaceted writing, which I think has gone into a lot of lore characters in Dark Souls, which is then spread out to the wider gaming community in terms of character writing, in terms of games writing, that's brought, in my opinion, games writing to a kind of a higher level in kind of the sphere of action games, which I don't think was personally there before, especially in the last 10 years. And I think probably attributed to Guts. I'm, clutching at straws, but I think you can attribute it back to Berserk and then Guts as the main character, being that multifaceted character he is. I think that's why he's super important and has the cultural range that Pokemon Go does. So
yeah, it's a character that very obviously, and a story, but I think even more than the story specifically, it's the character that touches people. Like, we go through lots of things in our lives, and having a story that is specifically about overcoming trauma and continuing on is really important to a lot of people. And that treats people as flawed and accepts flaws in people.
It's important.
Are you both voting for Guts then?
I am.
I am too.
Yeah, I understand why the sense of community in Pokemon Go is fantastic. I think Guts as a literary character and as a character is more important.
Yeah.
In sort of a personal and a general sense.
He's important for anime, he's important for manga, he's important for video games. And I think whilst the community aspect of Pokemon Go is important, I think those 2-3 things combined are more important.
Okay, well, I'm voting Pokemon Go.
Ooh.
What are you, Brandon?
It is tough. I'm not mad at either of those going through, frankly. I think they're brilliant. And again, the points you've made for Guts, I think, are all very valid, and especially sort of from the avenue of, like I say, sort of like, to a degree, inspiration for people to try and overcome their own trauma. Hopefully lesser trauma than some of the stuff in that fucking manga. You'd hope. But having that sort of character and inspiration to sort of push you forward and do stuff is massively important. And as you said again about sort of like the right and inspiration of that, how that's affect other media going forward. But I am still going to lean with Pokemon Go.
Get the criteria out, let's fucking go.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think there's just something, I think it's maybe on a slightly lesser degree, but on a wider scale, Pokemon Go has still helped people a lot of getting...
I think it definitely has helped people. I don't think anyone could say that Pokemon Go has not been helpful to many people across the globe. And being tied to something more accessible like Pokemon has increased that.
I think that's it. Yeah, that's what's done it for me. And I again, highly encourage everyone to fucking read through Berserk and, check that out. And Guts is incredible, but I don't know. I think there's just Pokemon Go has been more impactful as a general thing, and so that swung it for me. Ryan, you've downloaded Pokemon Go, right? And I believe you're ignoring the podcast to play it now. So let's think about that for a moment.
Should we get the criteria out?
Yep.
What was the criteria? Well,
the first question is how much liquid can it hold? Which I think
Guts can hold more liquid.
Would probably be Guts, yeah, because I don't think Pokemon Go is going to be holding any liquid. The actual sort of
about?
It's an application, mate.
It's filled with water Pokemon. A whale lord.
Yeah, but that's
huge.
Digital.
This isn't real. What do you mean?
That's a good point.
There are lots of people that have cosplayed as Guts.
There's lots of people that have cosplayed as a whale lord.
How do we quantify that, though?
Oh, shit. That's actually...
Pokemon Go...
Is that a furry or a scaly?
Well, aren't
Either
fairies the encompassing overall catch-all taxon for scalies as well, or is they separate?
I think so. I was just thinking, because it's a whale lord, so it's a whale, so it's a mammal.
It's not scaly then, is it?
It's fleshy.
No.
No.
But it's not really got fur. It's got hair, but not...
No. Also, Pokemon Go played by millions of people. If they all just have a bucket each, sorted. Pokemon
maybe
Go carries more water.
Good point. I didn't really think about the thing that Guts isn't real.
Yeah,
it's like, well, Guts
but how many people have read Berserk?
Because he's such a good character.
Yeah, how many people have read Berserk versus how many people have played Pokemon Go?
Way more people play Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go, I think, is going to be a lot more. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Just purely from the age range of people being able to go in.
I also think you're going to get this where almost everyone that's read Berserk has probably played Pokemon Go.
I'd say so. We're chalking that up to Pokemon Go is how much liquid it can hold then. So the next one is, what would you rather be presented with at a dinner party?
Guts.
Which would be Guts, or would it be...
Guts.
And I would say Guts would have some... Well, we've already seen the stories. Maybe harrowing. Although we did say that Punisher wouldn't.
He's a good laugh.
Well, he said Punisher wouldn't, though, because Punisher's
all the arguments you made for why you wouldn't have the Punisher would apply to Guts.
Yeah, but what would I rather...
He's great.
But I think Guts is a more well-rounded character than Frank Castle has ever been. He is,
100%. But I think who'd be fun at a dinner party, I don't think
Guts having fun. They're few and far between because he doesn't often have the opportunity
also,
to.
what would you rather have at a dinner party? Me, for the last 10 minutes on my phone, fucking swiping Venonat? Or would you rather have a real fucking character chatting really good stories? I think...
A real character.
Well, yeah. Ignore that bit.
Well, here's the thing, right? Because we'd all be playing Pokemon Go and we could all raid a gym together. We could trade Pokemon. We could talk about where we've been. We would be socialising via Pokemon Go.
That's a stretch.
We would all be like, dude, check out this shiny fucking Magikarp. You're like, yeah,
Guts
baby, what's it called?
Guts gets this one. Come on.
Pokemon Go. You'd be loving it. Guts turns up at a dinner party, you shit yourself and run away. Don't lie to me.
Yeah, but
You're running for the hills.
who says you don't want that at a dinner party? That's just the dinner parties you've been to. No?
That I don't want to shit myself.
Yeah, it could be.
Also, I don't think.
We could argue the eclipse was a dinner party for the demon.
That's a spicy little meme for our Berserk readers out there.
And to be fair, during the eclipse, they probably would have preferred Guts to be there than just someone with Pokemon Go.
I'm pretty sure a lot of the people there would have been like, I'd rather play
I just want to play Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go.
It's Pokemon Go
I
for
would
me.
say Pokemon Go because that's a good shout. I didn't even think about the whole getting together, actually playing stuff together.
I'm not going to go walking outside or to at a fucking dinner party.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I'm not walking anywhere if I can help it.
No, you don't. You don't have to though, because it's afterwards. We've all got Pokemon going. You can just show off what Pokemon have gone for you personally.
That's such a fucking intelligent debate thing that you just brought up. I can't believe it.
Well, one of my main reasons for Pokemon Go is the socialising aspect, right? And a dinner party, big part of it is socialising, and that's one of the main things it was designed around.
Guts isn't a very sociable chap. He doesn't really want to socialise too much with too many people.
Not. Let's be honest, he wouldn't go to the party. He wouldn't turn up.
The difficulty is, so you've seen where he's part of the Band of the Hawk and he's much more open. So we can talk about that. He is much more open there and relaxed, particularly with the people close to him within the mercenary company.
But we don't know Guts.
Both before and after Griffith. No, but if he was coming to the dinner party, you would assume there was some sort of... You don't just invite fucking random people to your dinner party.
Band of the Hawk, a fucking army.
I mean, that would be fucking sick, though. Some of those lads are just... But also, later, as you get deeper in, there are bits where you've not read to, where he's opening up much more and is much more relaxed. And it sort of very much plays with the ideas of sort of small periods of quiet and making the most of those before everything goes to shit again.
Oh, God. He wouldn't be sharing stories at the dinner table. He'd be so far removed. He wouldn't want to be there. He wouldn't be. And then you'd be all chasing.
No, I think it'd be pretty open.
When you killed 30 dudes at once, it'd be like, I don't really want to. Dude, when's that sourdough starter coming out, man? I just really want some bread.
There we go. Bring it back.
I'm so hungry right now.
Oh, fucking hell. Wait, you're saying it hasn't arrived because it's stuck in America? Damn, why do I bother living in this fucking world?
Not even started baking it.
Yeah, you at least got the refund, right? What?
I think Pokemon Go is still going to win that. It is going to win that question.
I don't agree, but sure.
I want to put.
Ryan, what are you saying?
The thing, I'm really stuck between. We both made beautiful points about Pokemon Go. I just want to get Guts through to the final, though. I don't know.
That's not how this works.
It's not about what you personally want.
It's
not about you.
My main problem is I don't really want to talk to anyone about Pokemon Go. Like, as a personal thing, it's not an interesting conversation I want to have.
Again, that's more on you. I don't think you want to talk to us about...
I'm just struggling to relate to this because
I'd rather talk about Berserk at dinner table than Pokemon Go.
Thing, Jack. You bought the step thing to play.
Yeah, but I don't talk to people about it.
Yeah, come on.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah,
I'll engage with that app privately. Like, I'll engage with that app. I'll go out on walks and stuff. Wow.
So it's for private use.
You've seen those low punnies.
Should we tie this one and then chalk it up to the last question?
We need to...
Ryan, have you made a choice? Sorry, did you make a decision? Because I feel like you got cut off there.
I'm going to go with Guts.
So it is tied.
Guts isn't the answer.
Well,
it's
my fucking decision because it's my opinion.
It's a subjective opinion.
You
can't say that.
Is somebody hold on? Is somebody moaning in the background? I just heard a big moan. Did no one just hear that?
I heard it, but it wasn't my side.
So I think people are having, because it's been quite nice weather and it's Saturday night, I think people are having a garden party, so there might be some people.
I was trying to ignore that, so I didn't then have to come in and edit out afterwards.
So apologies. I can't do anything about that. And you know what they're all moaning about? They're like, man, I wish we were playing Pokemon Go right now. No, I have to.
It's the same reason I don't want to play multiplayer games with people. I like to just enjoy the game at my own speed without talking to other people about it.
No, Jack, I'm going to throw a curveball at you. I think it's because you'd end up having to play with us, and that ruins the experience.
Ooh.
Whereas if it were better people, you'd probably want to talk about it more. Now, Ryan,
Hello.
genuinely, is your option because you genuinely think Guts is better, or is it just because you prefer Guts and want Guts in the final? Because if it's purely because you like Guts, we all like Guts. This isn't what it's about. Guts is great. Okay, he's the winner in my heart, but that's not what this is about, right?
I'm literally just doing this as it does sort of boil down to I would rather have a conversation with or about Guts at a dinner table than about Pokemon Go. There are very few things that it's just not an interesting conversation at a dinner table, let alone anywhere, really. How many Pokemon you've got, I don't really care.
Oh my god, I made such an...
Is it more than me? Yes or no? If it's yes, then fine, give me a week, I'll go and catch more than you just so I'm better than you. That's all I need.
I made an impassioned speech about Pokemon Go, and yes, I am remembering that we had such a nice time. Fine, I want Guts to go through because I just want Guts in the final. I will admit it. I'm an honest person.
Okay.
Fine, it's Pokemon. I don't want to go to a tiebreak because we're already at fucking 2 hours recording. So I want Pokemon Go just to go through.
As a mild throwing it out there, because I think I might be able to possibly convince Jack just with the argument of it would still count as winning Pokemon Go if you can just be condescending to people and say, well, I have better Pokemon than you and more of them.
I don't really want to talk about it. It's purely a competitive side of things that I'd want more or better, but I don't want to talk about.
You've got 3 versus 1. We're all good. We're all good, right?
And also,
you've got that through. That's fine. I disagree that Pokemon Go is an interesting conversation.
Going in, boys.
Again, nothing against... I mean, all of these finalists are the best in their own right, okay? We have to say they are all winners, some more than others, but...
Queen Alien should have been there as Princess Tiana, but...
Don't even
We're not
Queen
doing
Alien.
this again.
This is the final.
The Working Class versus Pokemon Go is Season 1 finale of Best Buddies.
Well, I tell you what, real quick, I fucking brought it back, boys, haven't I? Look at this.
Is it two random picks?
It's two random picks. Yeah.
There it is. And you know what? Because my
Guts is an honorary third, I think.
For the people. Oh, should we do?
bronze.
That's a point. Should we do a third place? Are we doing Guts versus?
We probably should.
I think we should. I know it.
It's
Well,
Guts.
come on, man. Jack's got to edit it, so you know. What was the other one before the Working Class?
It was Guts versus...
Ryan's got the bracket, right? Was it Ramadan? Right, it's Guts versus Ramadan,
No,
right?
it's Guts versus the bull elephant.
What?
For the third place.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm happy.
Guts has got thirds.
Happy enough because again, that's basically Brandon's got the 2 first place and I've got the 2 runner-ups.
Yeah, that's good, man. Dude, high five.
Are we doing this?
Guts would beat the
Yeah,
shit out
Guts
of
would
it.
fucking cleave.
Fuck up a bull elephant.
Fucking off.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
he would
but
destroy
remember-
that elephant like it was a delicious slice of sourdough bread.
Didn't we say that it was versus without any weapons, though? Would you reckon Guts would still...
Guts would
I
still
think
win.
Guts would still
He's
win.
an absolute savage, mate.
Beat
Okay,
the shit
enough.
out of it.
Do you count his arm as a weapon?
Yes, because it has
Oh.
a cannon in it.
Sorry.
Spoilers.
No, it's not spoilers. That happens in the first book, mate.
Yeah, I know.
It's going. You're all good. Yeah, he'd still win, right?
Yeah.
He would beat
still win.
the ever-living fuck out of that
With a
elephant.
stump.
I mean, even if we judge it, Guts is a better husbander than an animal is a combatant.
Also true.
An elephant is a
There we
combatant,
go.
I think.
Third place goes to Guts. Congratulations. Well done.
Well done. So,
It's final.
You got your podium finish, mate. Got your bronze.
There we go. That's
so-
look, I can live with it.
what grunt
The
noise do you use for that
working-
one? Is that like some sort of inverted one? Because it wasn't exactly.
I'll pitch shift it or something. I don't know.
He said it. He's got to do it.
I can edit out saying it. It's fine.
That's very true. Jack has the power. What's going to be really awkward is when, because Jack's editing it, he just tweaks it so that Guts has one and come first, as opposed
what?
I'm
to...
just swapping every time someone says Pokemon Go
Guts.
with them saying Guts.
Final round. Fight!
Working Class versus Pokemon Go. It's very much a for the people by the people final, and I'm glad to fucking see it, boys. Finally, my hard work is paying off. I have no fucking clue where I'm...
Are we actually, with this final, we're quite lovely people, right? Like, that's a lovely thing to have as a... Well, yeah, but, we all agreed to it. Like, that's quite nice.
I think that's a nice... I'm happy with how that's gone.
Stop this self-congratulatory wanking. Let's just get on with it.
Absolutely. Audibly beat off.
We're lovely people. Bollocks, are we?
But, yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough, isn't it? I'm leaning towards Pokemon Go because...
The working class, you can't beat the working class.
I'm going working class.
Yeah, no, I suppose a lot of people in the working class playing Pokemon Go, so,
done.
But that's the numbers thing. That's the numbers thing which we said we wouldn't do, because yes, the working class constitutes a lot of people.
I'm not doing it because of numbers. I'm doing it because it's the working class.
No, for sure. But I'm just saying that we can't, because otherwise that was the argument you were making last time, right?
No, I like Pokemon. I guess it's the working class, isn't it? Really?
You choose what you want, Brandon, but I'm going working class.
I think it's only working class.
You'll have to argue against yourself somewhere.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if you vote in Pokemon Go, you vote in Tory. So,
Yeah, okay, so all people who play Pokemon Go are Tories.
There we go. Oh, shit. Uninstall quick.
Wait, I can help. Yeah, Tory. So, I mean, what I can do is bring this out again and be like, well, I think Pokemon Go is...
Who the fuck is that? It's Little Chef.
Little Chef, man. Yeah, I got that for... I think Christmas
Again, this is on a podcast,
year.
Brandon, so you're going to have to give us more than that.
You got to take a picture of yourself with it. That'd be great.
Yeah. We'll get something. You get a little bit of this. Little chef man.
Is this our guest judge?
I don't know. I never named him. I don't know.
Something not xenophobic, please.
Chef working class, baby. Let's go.
So Mario's out the question.
You can be Mario if you want. Yeah. So many moons ago, when I used to dabble a bit in Twitch streaming with a mate of mine, there was then a sort of weird recurring joke where at a certain point it'd be funny if instead of me being on cam, I replaced it with a Dolmio-esque puppet version of myself, and just never acknowledged it. I just became a puppet.
Could have been the biggest thing on Twitch, and you just did not fucking bother.
Brilliant. Unfortunately, my co-host decided to take a step back from the streaming thing. Yeah. Who hasn't?
He's actually talking about the puppet.
Yeah, the puppet started a solo career, sadly.
Can we call the puppet Dr. Breedable?
No.
Why would you call a chef?
Wait, chefs can still be doctors. Maybe they've got a career change.
But one of his main redeeming features isn't his lab coat.
Can we call him Monsieur Breedable?
We're not interested in him for his brain, Robert.
That's the one joke I didn't want us to bring back, but here we fucking are.
Here we are.
I want to see him. I want to see the chef back making an argument for how important the working class is for society.
I don't want to get cancelled, so make it fucking nice, Brandon.
Hold on. Well, hold on. Where's he?
And put a voice on so the people that listen know
it's not a Dolmio day.
No,
it's not a Dolmio day.
It's not. Here we go. Actually, let me swap hands.
Why does he need to be Italian? Both of you seem to think he has to be Italian.
Because Ryan said don't make it xenophobic.
Don't make it xenophobic, however. Jack will need to edit.
Straight to Italian.
Because he looks like a Dolmio guy.
It's in all fairness, it's based on the Dolmio puppets, right?
Maybe he's Croatian.
Listen, the beauty of this is that he can be whatever nationality you'd like. And you know what else? The working class encompasses all nationalities, right? The working class is what makes... Let me look at the people. It's what makes the world go round. Okay?
Have I had too much to drink?
You don't.
You don't know what's going on now.
Let's be honest. We can't realistically not pick the working class, right? I
don't know if we've clarified this for the audience, but Brandon's got a Dolmio fucking puppet and has been talking to us with that for the last 5 minutes, and I don't know what's real anymore, viewers. I do not know what's real anymore.
I don't understand why, if you had that, you stopped streaming.
It's quite well. I acquired Puppet post once we stopped streaming, unfortunately, so I don't think it ever
start
made.
again.
Yeah. Well, we've got. Here's the thing, man. Now we've got the new Twitch channel. Maybe we'll do stuff like that. Maybe for the rest of the podcast, I'll just not put my cam on, and we can bring the Puppet in. I don't fucking know. All right, it's been in a drawer.
We
for a
use
while.
him in. We can use him in Instagram to promote on stories stuff when podcasts come out. That'd be pretty cool.
He does need a voice, though.
He
does
use
need
him
a voice.
Yep. I'll work on something. I'm sure it's balancing, giving him a voice and me not being offensive.
Dudley. Go Dudley.
He said he was Croatian. You know, do your best Croatian.
Yeah,
Sorry, new Croatian.
I don't know what that is. Listen, this is all stuff for season 2, all right? We need people. We need a reason for people to come back.
Yeah. You're
this is
right,
already a fever dream.
My name's fucking Dr. Predable. How you doing,
I hate this. I quit.
I don't like that. I don't like I'm putting the puppet away now. You've ruined it for everyone, Robert. I hope you're happy. There's always one.
This is a shit show.
Oh shit me, jeez. Okay, hold on. Back onto the actual topic.
So realistically, the winner's working class, right? It's got to be the working class.
Phenomenal.
Realistically, Guts would have had a good
innings,
round up with the working class just because Guts would be.
That's what I said. That's what
working class, right? He would be, yeah. But in my opinion, it's going to be working class.
So there we go.
I think so.
You know,
yeah, I think working class.
It's the working class season 1 finale. The working class wins.
I can't believe Ryan did so badly.
Yeah, it's actually bonkers.
I can't believe I fucking rigged the whole thing, and guess what? I still fucking lost.
It's quite impressive.
I debated at uni, and I still fucking lost.
Did you debate at uni while you were 6 beers deep, or?
No, I just did it every night, fucking in my shower, mate.
The season 1 winner is the working class, and I think that's
good.
This is what I mean. Like, what a wonderful winner to all of this. Like, it's so wholesome.
God,
man.
we sound like fucking culty middle class wankers, don't we? Jesus Christ.
That's it. Yeah, we sound like bougie cunts here.
Like a Tory, as this podcast goes.
For giving the working class a win. Jolly good stuff.
So let's moan about the Tories. Let's moan about the shit state of Labour in this fucking country because Keir Starmer's a knob. There we go. Done. I've said my piece. As quickly as possible. I didn't go into detail.
No, put it in the... Did we already say the podcast email? Because you can send your thoughts on that.
bestbuttiespod@gmail.com. And you can send us, realistically, whatever you want. You have free will. But maybe, let us know if you agree or disagree, even though we are correct. Maybe you could fire across some topics you would like us to discuss when we come back to you with season 2. We'll be having a brief hiatus, I believe, just to let the dust settle, let our hatred sort of push down a little bit from some of these spicy decisions. But I certainly hope that we'll be coming back for more. Further on. I'm sure we'll come back stronger, better, maybe, some new segments, spice things up a little bit, who knows, but
maybe a completely different format, who knows at this point.
Maybe we'll even replace all 4 of us.
Yeah.
We're
all just puppets now, yeah.
We're all puppets.
With Croatian accents, I cannot wait.
Jesus.
It's going to be fantastic. But yeah, and then also, as we mentioned earlier, if you want to get in touch with us on any socials, we are on most socials at Best Butties Pod, except from YouTube and TikTok, which we definitely use, which it's at Best Butties. So, but realistically, just get on the Instagram. That's at Best Butties Pod. So,
yeah.
And there's twitch.tv/bestbuttiespod where you can drop us a follow. And if we do actually follow up on streaming something at some point,
you'll know about it.
You'll know.
Yeah. And I hope you enjoyed it. For people that have actually listened to all of this, really fucking appreciate it. Like,
well
you know
done.
what I mean?
Fuck me.
Yeah, you're the real winners.
Winners is
Well, debatable.